Hello and welcome back to the WGL APAC, and wow, if you're just joining us, I don't envy you at all. That was a series and a half, another win under the belt for EL game. Team efficiency.
Force of habit.
I know, it really is. It really is. It's strange. It's foreign to the mind, foreign to the tongue.
Definitely.
But another win for team efficiency, taking out EL 2 weeks in a row. That's got to feel good.
Look,
for the efficiency boys.
I feel really disappointed almost because I was so close to putting 5-4 for team efficiency. You know, I looked at the maps. I was like, I think, you know, the map pool is going to be enough for team efficiency to get 5-4. And then they got on the maps they needed. But I was like, it's EL. You know, how can you bet against EL Gaming? And then, you know, team efficiency have managed to pull it through once again. So call me a no faith. You know, kick me from the clan. I don't care.
But who can blame you?
It's an excellent win for team efficiency. Exactly. Well, yeah, look, I almost even put it back to 5-3 for EL after that loss to Meltdown because team efficiency looked really, really bad yesterday. But they came back today. They did have some rounds where they looked really bad in, but they also had rounds where they looked really, really good in, and things were really working in their favor. So, look, it was a good performance overall for team efficiency tonight, and getting another win against EL Gaming just to prove that the first one wasn't a fluke, I think, is really just the icing on the cake for team efficiency this season.
It really was great stuff for team efficiency. They've cemented themselves as, after 2 wins, you can't really deny it, but they're the team to beat. They're consistently beating EL now. Sure, they are tiebreaker games and they're going down to the wire, but they're still getting that W on the board. They're still taking it to EL Gaming. Everyone's going to be gunning for team efficiency. Meltdown, they've had the first crack at them. Looks great for them. I don't envy who's up next against efficiency next week, though.
Yeah, that is next week. Now, though, we have got Coalition Zoo and Caren Tiger. Now, Caren Tiger, yesterday, they had an okay day. Coalition Zoo, you know, wasn't so great.
Coalition Zoo day.
But like, obviously, Caren Tiger yesterday, they were up against EL Gaming.
That's true.
Fair enough, they went down 5-2. They got some rounds on the board. They didn't look awful. Coalition Zoo also went down yesterday. I think it was to Dark Wolves. But in general, I think this is definitely one to look at for Caren Tiger to pick up the full 3 points tonight.
Yeah. I see no reason that Caren Tiger can't take this one out quite convincingly as well. Coalition Zoo, they didn't look very good yesterday, especially against Dark Wolves, who then faltered against B Gaming. So, coming into this series, I'm really expecting Caren Tiger to just show dominance once again. But Coalition Zoo, the Madhouse, crazy, they had Beach playing for them last time. We see if he's playing again. Of course, on the other side of the battlefield, you got Caren Tiger, Hellkurai, Akio V, Nadeko, some of the big names here.
Yeah, well, it is a strong lineup, but you know, I still feel like we haven't really seen them perform as consistently as I would have hoped. I mean, they just don't look like they're up there with team efficiency at this point. They're probably the next best team after team efficiency, I feel. You know, it goes EL, well, maybe team efficiency EL, or EL team efficiency. Still hard to say. Yeah. Anyway, that's a discussion for another time.
You're right.
I think in third position, it's quite safely Caren Tiger, and then I'm going to put Meltdown. And then probably Horseman, B Gaming, or B Gaming Horseman. Hard to say. Things are really starting to shuffle up, but definitely need to see some more consistent results from Caren Tiger. And to have a look at our player matchup, it's Mordame. I don't think we've actually seen him so far.
No.
At least I don't remember seeing that picture. Maybe it's just a new one. Nomad as well. We haven't seen him. So a couple of new additions to our player versus player.
Though, so.
Yeah.
If the competition's who's looking the coolest, you got to give it to your boy Nomad. Right?
Do you? I mean,
he's got the aviators on, man. He's at a nice location, sick backdrop.
Yeah.
Madame, he's all business, no play, and I can respect that. But let's face it, Nomad, he wins out on the fashion contest.
Well, yeah. What he doesn't win out though is the average damage dealt, the average distance traveled. I guess that's kind of an irrelevant stat, but it's still a fun one. But overall, things looking a little bit better there for Mordame than they are for Nomad.
More time playing tanks and going out to sick locations, Nomad. And maybe Coalition Zoo could do a little better tonight. It's going to be a rough game. A rough night ahead for them.
It definitely is. I think, you know, it's really hard to see Coalition Zoo pulling off a win here. You know, even hard to see them pulling off more than maybe 1 or 2 rounds, depending on how the map picks go. I think that's going to be part of the equation here. Oh, that's convenient. Prokhorovka, first pick there from Coalition Zoo. Fair enough. That's probably their best map this season. Mines from Caren Tiger is an interesting one. Because it's not a map that's been super comfortable for them. They did take a round off for EL Gaming on it yesterday, so maybe feeling pretty confident. And it's not an excellent map for Coalition Zoo, so I can understand why they've gone for that one. The cliff veto from Coalition Zoo, completely expected. The steps veto from Caren Tiger, that's somewhat unexpected, to be honest. But, you know, they have to veto a map. I think Caren Tiger's the kind of team that is going to veto maps that their opponent would rather be on rather than their own weaknesses. So, you know, fair enough. Swap it around. Himmelsdorf being taken away by Caren Tiger as well, that's a very, very surprising one for me, to be honest. I mean...
Yeah, Himmelsdorf's usually most teams' bread and butter coming
It is exactly Caren Tiger's bread and butter.
If you're banning it away, then... The Ruinberg as well getting banned away from Coalition, then Muravenka and Ghost Town being picked up by the respective teams here. But yeah, back to the Himmels ban does kind of raise a few questions.
It does. It has been a very, very good map for Caren Tiger this season. I think maybe they just don't want to go up against Coalition Zoo's, you know, big, heavy tanks on that map. I think, anyway, the reason for it, whatever, but Caren Tiger have gotten rid of it. Ruinberg taken away by Coalition Zoo. I like that. It has been a very, very good map for Caren Tiger this season. And then Muravenka, Ghost Town. Hard to say who's going to come out of those ones with the advantage. I'd say probably Muravenka, maybe even a little bit more Coalition Zoo sided. But Caren Tiger, I think, probably have the advantage here on Ghost Town. So overall for me, best case scenario, I'm saying 5-2 for Coalition Zoo. For Caren Tiger, sorry.
That would be an impressive one. That would be a Blakey prediction if I ever heard one.
It is a Blakey prediction.
You got Prokhorovka, Mines, Muravenka, then the back-to-back Ghost Towns. Should Coalition Zoo be able to hold on for long enough? We got to see Coalition Zoo playing Prokhorovka yesterday, and Alex said it's something as simple as calling it in the tank picks. Do Coalition Zoo have themselves an S tank? They win. If they don't, they lose. Is it that simple, John?
I don't think it's necessarily that clear cut. I mean, we can talk as much as we like about Madhouse in that S tank or Pac-Manius in that S tank, which I think we saw from Coalition Zoo earlier on in this week. But in reality, it is only one tank on the field. You know, it is a team effort. It's not just down to that single player. So to me,
funnily enough, it's never going to be down to that single player because he's actually not playing today.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah, he's taken the night off, so it's not going to matter if they pick the S tank or not unless they have someone who can fill in.
Well, I mean, we saw Pac-Manius do it yesterday or earlier, maybe Friday, but he didn't have a very good time in it. So I do wonder if we will see the S tank coming out here from Coalition Zoo. I feel as though the majority of their success on Prokhorovka has very much leaned on the S tank, not necessarily been because of it, but it has certainly been in the lineups of the rounds that they've won, and it has been making an impact. So here tonight, if we don't see the S tank from them on Prokhorovka, you know, it is a good map for Caren Tiger. It could be difficult for Coalition Zoo, but you know, predictions here coming out. Pretty interesting one, I think, from Alex there, going Coalition Zoo over Caren Tiger.
Yeah. Do you want to read out the little quote Alex has gotten down for us here about his decision making?
When we were kind of looking through this matchup, we did our predictions right, and then Alex was like, all right, well, here's my thought process. Roses are red, 1 + 1 is 2, Caren Tigers belong in the zoo. And I was like, well, that's you're not even really being funny, you're just being wrong. Like, because there's no way Caren Tiger loses this.
Yeah, it was an interesting conversation.
It was.
That we had.
It's always an interesting conversation with Alex, isn't it?
Alex, he's a great guy. Yeah. God bless his soul.
God bless.
Well, look, and we've gone for the more sensible predictions.
I think so.
5-2, you're giving Coalition a lot of wiggle room here. After how they played against Dark Wolves, I'm not convinced that they're going to get more than a round.
That is fair. But, you know, team efficiency against Meltdown just defeated EL Gaming. So
I know,
one day to the next doesn't
so
necessarily always matter.
Yeah, it's been a crazy weekend, Jordan. Let's just see if next week we see things get a little bit more ironed out here and we can go back to our strong prediction games. Because before the last few weeks, everything seemed so clear-cut.
It did.
It was like, oh, this team will 100% beat this team in about this manner. But now it's all of a sudden, like you said, you've got Meltdown taking out Efficiency taking out EL.
Yep.
What's next?
Well, Coalition Zoo maybe taking down Caren Tiger. I don't think so. Caren Tiger did lose to Dark Wolves, though, so they have shown...
So did Coalition Zoo, though.
Yeah, well, they have shown that they can falter against some of the weaker teams in the league. You know, Caren Tiger, they haven't been having the greatest of weeks, you know, losing to EL, which is, okay, fair enough, but it's still a loss on the board. They will want to really pull this one off with a win. So hopefully, for Caren Tiger, it's going to be the good Caren Tiger showing up tonight, not the one that loses matches against Dark Wolves.
Yeah, I feel like if any team is which team will we see tonight, the bad one or the good one, Caren Tiger fits into that category the most. Sometimes these guys just come out with such amazing tanking and strategy and picks, and then other times you just scratching your head thinking, the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah, well, I mean, that could be the potential for tonight. I mean, it is Coalition 2 and it is Caren Tiger. They are prone to picking some
That's true.
different tanks.
That's true.
You know, they're going for the heavy tank destroyers, both of these teams, every now and then. Probably not on Prokhorovka, you would expect. Although we did see the T95, actually. I think it was from Coalition 2 on Prokhorovka.
If any team were to run it, it seems like Coalition 2 would be the ones to be picking that type of stuff up.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see it tonight, though. It didn't work when we did see it.
Funnily enough.
So, yeah, funnily enough. So I don't think we'll see it once more here. And then, you know, Mines, for me, that's a worrisome pick maybe for Coalition Zoo.
Sure.
Well, it was Caren Tiger's pick, but it's a worrisome map for them. They haven't had a good time on it so far this season. But, you know, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's have a look and see how things are going to go here on Prokhorovka. It is the first map pick of the Coalition Zoo. And we're going to have to find out what tanks they're coming into this one with, what side they're starting off on as well. Without Madhouse, how are they going to go on this map? How are they going to go on all of their maps? You know, he is a core player for their roster, so there's going to have to be a new player in there.
I really hope Coalition Zoo haven't bottlenecked themselves to only one way of winning.
Real 15 for Coalition Zoo, STRV for Caren Tiger, so both teams decided to go for a tank destroyer, but a lot of bat chats on the side there for Caren Tiger on the defense. Not a lot of hold down tanks though. I guess there's the Kranwagen, but aside from that, we're not going to be seeing too many teams actually fighting over the rails. They are going to need to commit.
I don't know, Caren Tiger. We've seen teams running just so many autoloaders without any real armor to back it up, and it always goes a little bit awry after that first barrage. We'll have to see if Caren Tiger can use the S-Tank and the Kranwagen enough to give them that extra, like, that bit of weight behind their punches tonight. Because if not, Coalition Zoo could potentially be in with a good thing here if the grill's hitting its shots.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking Coalition Zoo are going to need to find around here on Prokhorovka because I don't really see it happening on Mines. I think it's maybe 1-1 on Prok, 1-1 on Murovanka there, and that would be the 5-2 prediction with Mines and Ghost Town going the way of Caren Tiger. But we are about to find out.
Here we go, rolling out. See Nadeko getting himself into position in that S-Tank. He'll be the one manning it tonight. Where the rest of the squad go, Pac-Manius and Polly might be spotting each other as they're heading around to the same area. Pac-Manius, has he gone a little bit too far? Has he passed the point of no return? He's been spotted out. He wants to get a quick spot in before he retreats. He's going to go down. One more shot could do it. He just gets behind the line of sight.
Yeah, well, that's a good start for Caren Tiger, all things considered. I mean, Pac-Manius on 400 HP, so he's basically a one-shot for all, pretty much every single tank on the field for Caren Tiger, with the exception of the RU-251, assuming the bat chats roll decently.
Yep.
But, you know, free damage, I guess, for Caren Tiger. Can't complain.
Good stuff. We'll have to see how they go about it. Coming into this one. You can see Coalition Zoo, they didn't get too much information, just that a lot of tanks were there. I guess Pac-Manius can tell how many times he's being shot per second. Combine that with the you know, reload time of the autoloaders and think, okay, I got shot by like 2 or 3 different tanks.
I better get out of here.
That position of time, better turn tail and run. But relays that information back to the squad on the Coalition Zoo, and you can see they've positioned themselves very heavily around the 2 flag. Mudame, though, cops some flak down to 800 HP.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, Caren Tiger, you know, losing a trade, and as to be said, Coalition Zoo now with the better of it. More Dame with a damaged ammo rack. That's not great. Nope. It's going to take him longer to reload. You would expect he's got a repair kit here, which he will save until he actually needs to reload, just in case. But still, that's a little bit of an advantage there for Coalition Zoo. Not a massive one, but an advantage nonetheless.
Have to see when the bat shot barrage from the from Caren Tiger come through here. Pac-Manius, he's just completely ran back to his main platoon. Going to be syncing up with them any minute. Now, we have Beach playing on his own account. That's good to see. He's not going to be confusing me with the name Polly this time around. Polly also...
Pixel.
Pixel, sorry. P-name's my mistake.
P-names indeed.
Yep. Helkurai spotted out Joke. Doesn't want to go for anything just yet. Still has 4 shells in the chamber. Caren Tiger, they need to make a move. Not just yet. It's minute 40 still on the hill.
Yeah, plenty of time. I mean, really... Caren Tiger, they need to start thinking about what they got to do, but they don't need to actually do anything just yet. They are going to start to rotate down towards the southern part of the map, though, which I think is a good idea. In saying that, though, they are going to be spotted out by those players up on the hill. So, you know, once they get spotted out in that southern part of the map, I think they're going to have to probably fall back and try another angle, because, you know, taking a shot from a grill, taking some shots from the bat chats before they really get into the fight, I don't think is a favorable situation here for Caren Tiger. I like the setup from Coalition Zoo.
Coalition Zoo coming into this with very good poise. Got themselves set up quite nicely. Interesting to see where Caren Tiger go through, because they only have, like, all their damage is coming from the bat shots here. If Roby one's able to get a good shot off in the grill, then that could spell lights out for Caren Tiger. And 20 seconds left on the hill with 3 tanks in it. They need to make their move, and they need to make it now. Have they waited a little bit too long? Yupa and Helkuro along with Mario making their move. Chippy, he could go down first, but with 4 seconds left on the clock, they need to get the resets. They need to get them soon.
This is bad. This is bad for Caren Tiger. I don't think they're getting the resets here. They have
they get one.
There is the reset. But the trade so far actually going the way of Coalition Caren Tiger.
Yes,
I don't know what's happening.
That just went all sorts of wrong for the Coalition Zoo. They've lost pretty much 3 tanks here. Once Chippy goes down, that will be 4. The Batshats are on their reload, so a brief respite for Caren Tiger. But I feel like the damage is dealt. Roby finds one onto Polly in the RU251, but it's not going to matter, as I think the damage has been dealt. Ooh, Nomad, though, answers onto Akio V, takes out the Kranwagen here.
Yeah, but look at the health disadvantage the Coalition Zoo have here. Mordame, Roby missing that shot onto him,
crucial.
And he gets punished for it. He might even go down here. Doesn't look like Mordame has an angle, but that initial fight looked like it was going so well for Coalition Zoo. They got reset, sure, but the trades were decent. And then all of a sudden, Caren Tiger just finds so much damage and so many kills out of nowhere that they come away with what looks to be an advantageous position. Now, they are admittedly starting to lose a little bit of health here, and it's coming back to a relatively close situation. I'm not sure what Maro's just done there. He's just what? Hang on. Oh, he's trying to hit Lion. He was firing shots into the ground. I was going, what's going on here? But in the end, Maro does take down Lion. Nomad, he's not going to go down tomorrow, but he's probably not going to survive too much longer here. Caren Tiger should be able to pull this one off, but really, I mean, I don't know what went wrong for the Coalition Zoo there. Like, I need to have a look at the replay.
It was a 2-pronged attack. They came in from A6 and E6 simultaneously, and Coalition Zoo just weren't in position to counter-attack, so they just got obliterated by the 4 bat shots straight off the bat shat, and it just didn't look good after that from Coalition Tiger.
Bloody hell.
Coalition Zoo.
It's all gone wrong tonight, hasn't it?
Yep.
Well, certainly hasn't gone very well for Coalition Zoo either. Roby, the only one left alive, and really not all that much that he can do here. He doesn't really know where anyone is, with the exception of Helkurai, who should be an easy kill for him. There we go. But that's going to give away his position, and as a consequence, Maro will trade it out. So, good first round on the board there for Caren Tiger. Now we need to see Coalition Zoo respond, though, because this is the map that is one of their best chances to pull off a round.
That was looking good, though. That was a really good. That was a really solid setup. I know it was going great until it wasn't, and then everything all went wrong. They lost 3 tanks straight off the push. Caren Tiger just coming in fast and heavy, punishing their indecision. They tried to defend both fronts and lost them both.
Yeah, I really want to see the replay of that one, because, I mean, for me, I wasn't really sure what went wrong for Coalition Zoo there. They were winning the trades. They had the cap timer down super, super low.
Yeah.
All the pressure was on Caren Tiger, and then kind of within, 2 or 3 seconds, Caren Tiger had just dealt so much damage over.
That's the power.
Almost 3 tanks were dead, and eventually Caren Tiger was just able to pull away with the win. So things just went all sorts of awry, really, for Coalition Zoo in a very, very short space of time.
Yep, hopefully Coalition Zoo coming into the next side, we do think this is one of the maps that they can pull a round off. Can show us a little bit more of a defensive plan, considering they will be on the defense here. They need to make sure that if Caren Tiger are going to go for those really bold attacks, they have the line of sights, they have the focus fire, they have the accuracy to take them out.
Yeah, well, it's a difficult time for Caren Tiger. For Coalition Zoo, because they've got that momentum against them. They had a poor performance yesterday. They really are struggling to get into some of these games. And if this one goes to 2-0 for Caren Tiger, I think we might be in for a pretty quick series, because, Mine's coming up after that. That could be potentially a 2-0. Moravanka maybe a little bit more of an even split, but, by that point, the series is pretty much already won by Caren Tiger. So really, really critical here for Coalition Zoo to pull off the round here on their own defensive side. Generally speaking, they are pretty decent on the defensive side of Prokhorovka, but we'll have to see how it turns out.
A lot of the times, the defensive strategy relies so heavily on Madhouse and the S-Tank, so if they don't have that working for them tonight, do you think that could be a bane here?
Potentially it could be. We'll have to see. I mean, Roby there in the grill 15 for Coalition Zoo
Did
on
miss
the
a few
attack.
crucial shots.
Exactly, and I wonder how much damage he actually managed to put out there. I don't expect we're going to be seeing anyone else really in a tank destroyer. It doesn't feel like any of the other players from memory do like to pick it up. So if we're going to see anything from the Coalition Zoo on the defensive side, I feel like it probably will just be Roby in the grill.
Could be. We'll have to see if that works to the same effect as Madhouse in the S tank. Don't know if it does, because that's
Certainly
really
going to have to hope it's not working to the same effect as Pac-Manius in the S tank, because he did 0 damage on their defensive side last time.
Yeah, and look, this is where they came in.
A great trade onto Accio V. Beach takes a little bit of damage, but the bat chats Mario and Yupa, that's what we didn't see, coming in and absolutely decimating things. Accio V and the Kranwagen as well doing damage. Just across the board, it was all Caren Tiger working together.
Yeah, they only had Chippy on the defense on the E6 area, and the A6 they lost that as well. They just didn't have their tanks in the right position to defend that type of push. Nadeko pleading for his life. Coalition Zoo though, not giving it to him.
No,
we'll be seeing the quick
that's
shot.
Roby going down.
Take out Roby. See who the big damage dealers are. Roby did some work, but I don't know how much of that was relevant in the game.
Actually, not too bad from Roby. 8 shots fired. 750 alpha, you know, he's missed quite a few of those shots, but he's also done a decent amount of damage. He's got a couple of kills, so can't really fault him for that one. See how he goes on the defensive side if he picks up the...
You're right here. Roby 1 did work. Hellkarai and Maro in the bat chats, though. They were the guys getting in there and getting those kills. 2 on Maro, 1 onto Hellkarai, both toting over 2,000 damage. Lion and Chippy's trying to do some work, but once they had lost so many of their tanks off the initial push, there's not a lot of things, and damage, it can't really save you anymore.
Nope, and I think the second half of the scoreboard here is going to tell a bit of a tale. Pac-Manius, no damage done. Beach, no damage done. So that's where the damage is lacking. I mean, even Joke only getting a couple of shots out in his 113. Was good focus fire there from Caren Tiger initially. I mean, they really did pop quite a few tanks early on in that fight, didn't they?
They really just came in and obliterated them without pretty much any rebuttal from the Coalition Zoo. And I think it just all came down to the IS-7. He was a lone defender. 3 bat chats running at him. They didn't even shoot him. They just zip past him, and he's left to slowly turn around before he can help.
Yeah, not a great situation for Coalition Zoo, and haven't started off well, but, you know, Prokhorovka is their own map pick.
That's true.
They have a good chance of pulling off this second round. It could be a 1-1 here. It almost has to be a 1-1 if they're going to hope to really get anything done in this series, I feel, because it is such an important map for them. Caren Tiger pretty much across the rest of the map pool almost favoured, with the exception probably of Muravanka, but definitely on Caren Tiger's own map picks, I'm thinking things are going to be rough here for Coalition Zoo. So it's an important round coming up. Let's find out how it is going to play out. We'll see whether or not Coalition Zoo go for the S-Tank on the defense. It is not going to be the case, not any tank destroyers in fact. But there is an artillery for Caren Tiger. I dare say that will be Opalisk. He's been having an excellent time in the artillery.
Really has.
When we've been seeing him use it. He had a good time yesterday against Wargaming, if you remember, one-shotting Black with a blind fire, no less.
Sick. That was sick.
But definitely someone to watch here in this matchup.
Though, we see teams on Prokhorovka at least, when they have the artillery, they like to play quite slow, but with the 4 bat chats, I don't know, Caren Tiger, the way they played it last round makes me feel that the artillery is just kind of a contingency plan, or maybe just that first little poke of damage.
Well, that's what it is really there for, but Opalisk is so good that he always seems to find a way to actually contribute a big amount of damage as well. So I would be surprised to see Opalisk having a poor game here, I think.
Yeah. Pac-Manius making his way down though. Not going to be spotting anyone out off the bat there. Back towards the main squad, the boys. Akiovi and Polly couldn't spot anyone, so a very big rotation coming from Coalition Zoo to get on the other side of the map. You can see they're grouping up quite nicely on the hill.
This is what Coalition Zoo did yesterday as well. It was Madhouse actually the one that led first in the bat chat, and he basically got shut down by Wargaming straight off the bat. Actually, was it against? I think it was against Wargaming, so it would have been on Friday. Yeah. But regardless, they did do this sort of a strategy on the defensive side of Prokhorovka once before. This time, though,
Modame,
they're
they
sending
might be able to clip him out.
first. They will definitely be able to clip him out. He needs to get out of there straight away.
Skid down the hill. You got to take the risk here. Pacmanius actually leading the charge down the hill. They might even kill him first. Roby one, he's been tracked and a lot of damage coming back around Pacmanius for. They didn't even get Modame. This is going all sorts of wrong for the Coalition Zoo. They finally are able to pick up Modame in the bat shout. They only trade an RU251, but look at the health on Roby and Joke.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good trade for Caren Tiger. They, you know, they set that strategy up to work that way. They do lose 2 tanks though. No, sorry, they only lost 1. They only lost Modame, but they do lose a tank, which was a tier 10 tank as opposed to the tier 8 tank of Pacmanius. So that's, you know, not excellent, but you could see the strategy there working for Caren Tiger. They intended to have that bait. They intended to get the damage on those tanks as they were trying to take down Modame, and they were just maybe a little bit caught out by the IS-7 of Chippy taking down Modame. They would have hoped that Modame would have survived that after getting off the hill, but wasn't the case. I think Caren Tiger though traded pretty well. Look at, you know, look how low all those Coalition Zoo players are.
They're doing really good work here. Oh no, the Deco in the grill. He could get caught out here. Lion should have no trouble once he's off the reload, finishing him off. Does he want to ignore that? Oh, Beach is there as well. Great little pick coming out of the Coalition Zoo. That could be their ticket back into this game.
That was actually huge from Coalition Zoo. They, you know, they didn't really take all that much damage on the trade, and taking down a grill is a massive damage dealer for Caren Tiger. In saying that, we did see at least 1 more trade coming out. Not really right in that position, but there was a 1-for-1 in that small space of time.
One in the bat shot there. Joke takes down Polly. This is looking good. Coalition Zoo fighting their way back in, slowly but surely, brawling, taking it, scrapping it with them.
Tank advantage. I mean, Opalisk, so far, we haven't seen him do all that much work. I mean, if you could take down Joke here or something like that, it would be excellent, but he's on the move, so he's not going to be firing for, you know, probably at least another 30 seconds to a minute.
Unless Opalisk can get some big damage shots here, it's essentially a 3 versus 5.
Yep.
Coalition Zoo in a wonderful position right now, and this is what they needed to keep the series alive. Taking Proc 1-1.
Yep.
Good start.
They definitely needed to get around here on Prokhorovka, and they have set themselves up to do that. Admittedly, the health is pretty even, so Caren Tiger, if they play this one well, maybe if they get a bit lucky with a good shot from Opalisk,
he really needs
to pop off, they can turn it around. But at the moment, I just heard the arty shot just whiz by there, but didn't hit anything. But yeah, if for example Coalition Zoo can just, you know, get those guns working, then definitely they're in with an advantage here.
Nomad making his way down to the lake. Oh, just kind of hanging back, but AkiOV may be the next Caren Tiger player that's going to get caught out here. Nomad rotating his way over. How many bat shats left? Only 2 on the side of Caren Tiger. AkiOV, he could be going down here.
Well, this is where Caren Tiger need to trade him. They need to trade damage for this. If they allow AkiOV to go down without doing all that much, then it's game over.
Yep, he goes down. Shot coming out. Not doing too much. Hellcry does get Lion, so 1-for-1, but
2-for-1 actually. Opalisk just died too.
Oh wow, yeah. Didn't even see that. Bad stuff coming out of Caren Tiger, but great from the Coalition Zoo to capitalize.
It's not the worst of situations here for Caren Tiger because they got 2
Nomad.
very high HP bat chats, and all of these Coalition Zoo players are one-shots.
Hellcry only has 1 shot in the chamber. He can't afford to reload right now. He needs to get that shot to be a kill. Oh, I think he's actually going for the reload. Oh, this could be bad.
He bounces a shot off Joke.
That's not what you want to see right now. He needs to be connecting these ones. Finds ones onto Chippies. Doesn't get him only 84 health. That finds that, but he's on the reload now too. Got to be careful using the terrain to his advantage. It's a 2 versus 2.
It's fine for Caren Tiger here.
Wow.
Really. Yupa potentially could get caught, but Hellcry is going to have plenty of time to reload. He's almost off the reload here. Joke, even I don't think he's going to get a shot in here. Yupa, nope, he did just get one before Yupa dropped down below that ridge, but it's really down to Beach here. He needs to come up big, and it's really not quite possible because I think Hellcry is just going to one-shot him.
Wow.
And there you go, that's the game.
What a turnaround by Caren Tiger. It was looking so grim, but they have the auto-loaders with full clips. Shouldn't be in too much trouble. Joke doesn't connect either with any damage. Hellcry should have no trouble clipping him out. Great stuff by Caren Tiger. Wow. Unfortunate loss by Coalition Zoo. It was looking in their control, But when the dust settled, we could see the HP pulls on some of their tanks, and it didn't matter.
Caren Tiger just a little bit better man for man, working together as a team a little bit better there as well, and pulling off a win when they were at a deficit. Coalition Zoo probably should have capitalized on that one and pulled off their own round win, making it 1-1. But 2-0 now in the favor of Caren Tiger. It's an unfortunate result for Coalition Zoo because I thought that was one of the rounds, or one of the maps where they could get a round on the board. Unfortunately, not the case for them, and now they're really staring down a difficult series coming up throughout the rest of the map pool. Yeah,
this is going to be rough going into the next map. I really don't expect Coalition Zoo to be in with too much of a chance here. They had every opportunity to win that game. It was just they took poor trades. They kind of ham-fisted themselves into that trade with AkiOV. They got the artillery, so we're thinking, oh, maybe there's a shot. But then when you actually get a little bit of time to analyze which tanks are alive, HP pulls, and we could see it was clear that Caren Tiger had that game won.
Well, yeah, I want to see that push from onto AkiOV because, you know, that initially actually looked pretty good for Coalition Zoo, and they just didn't stay safe from those bat chats. Yeah. This is the problem, right? They took down AkiOV, didn't take all that much damage. Opal's got a shot off, but he immediately got taken down by Joke. And this is where I think Chippy and Beach probably could have just stayed below the ridge as opposed to poking up a little bit more. But instead, they allow those bat chats from Caren Tiger to get free shots across. And in the end, it works out quite nicely for Caren Tiger.
Yep, see, there's Chippy. Getting a little bit too ballsy on that one. There was no chance he was ever going to take out Yupa there. I guess he just wasn't counting his ammo and just hoping he was low, and tracks him. Oh, that's not what you want in such a crucial fight. But in the end, it wouldn't have mattered too much as Caren Tiger still had another member barreling over with a fully loaded Batshot. Helkarai, AkiOV putting up huge damage numbers here as well. Great stuff. And you can see 4 out of the 7 in favor of Coalition Zoo. Chippy, Nomad, and Joke beached as well.
And again, Opal is doing a pretty decent job in that lane. I mean, 1700 out of your tier 8 tank. Can't really complain about that one.
Didn't get any cool. Didn't get any
flashy, massive shots off, but he got impactful shots off. That's for sure.
The damage is there. The stats are there. And their team won the game, so couldn't have done it without him.
Definitely not. Again, another poor result for Coalition Zoo. They get some decent damage numbers on the board, but damage numbers is one thing, getting the win is another. And Caren Tiger are the ones getting the wins at the moment. IU251 of Pac-Manius not doing all that much, getting only one shot out, or one shot of damage out. Roby, not much done in the bat chat.
I remember Mudame was the first bat chat to fall for the side of Caren Tiger, being able to get 4 shots out under such
and he's penetrated
pressure.
All of them too.
Yeah, under such pressure. Kill, so. Sliding down the side of the hill. He got that first kill, I think it was onto the IU251, and where you got like 6 tanks shooting at you, that's great stuff.
It was good. It was good from Mordame. I mean, I would have liked to have seen him survive there, but he obviously didn't know the IS.
You're asking for a lot now, Jordan.
Yeah.
Would have liked to see him get a few more kills, maybe another 1,000 damage and
Matrix
survive.
Mode, dodge all the bullets or the shells.
We've already seen some tanks attempt to do some flashy stuff while sliding down a mountain, and we all know how that ended. Team efficiency. I'm looking at you.
Yeah, that was maybe not the kind of flashy that they would have wanted, I think it's fair to say.
That was great. I got the pleasure of observing that one from the really close up.
I'm glad we got that, you know, because that's the kind of thing you can kind of miss, right?
Yeah.
But we got it right on there. It was perfect. I loved it.
And then you see the other guy come.
I honestly thought, I almost felt like it was going to happen. When I saw Gorovsky turn around, I was like, he's going to try and help Safi here. He's going to die. He's going to flip as well. It was just perfect irony to see them both go off. But, I mean, the game was, you could argue, probably almost already lost anyway.
That's true.
But, you know, digressing a bit here, Wargaming not having a great time in that one up against Team Efficiency.
No. Neither a Coalition Zoo against Caren Tiger.
That's right. And moving on to Mines, which is Caren Tiger's map pick. It's a good map for Caren Tiger, generally speaking. Not a great map for Coalition Zoo, generally speaking. So this, I think, is going to be a tough ask for Coalition Zoo to get even a single round on.
Yeah, I really don't understand what their mine strategy as of late have been doing. They like to run some of the heavy tanks. Sometimes they go aggressive. I don't know. It's a weird little mix at the moment. So coming into Mines, I'm not too sure what Coalition Zoo will see on it, but I still think that Caren Tiger, they're just more of a solid team. They've got the confidence to pick the map. I think it's gravy for them.
Yeah, I think so too. I wonder what kind of a strategy we will see out of Caren Tiger here, because they do tend to, shake things up a little bit on mines. Sometimes we see them tend to go very aggressive, proactive.
Yeah.
Sometimes they sit back a little bit. I think against a team like Coalition Zoo, they probably can go aggressive. They can go proactive and win the trades. But certainly against a team like, for example, EL or Team Efficiency, who might be set up in better positions, who might be a little bit more drilled, knowing where the angles are, that might be a little bit riskier. But I think you can probably get away with it against Coalition Zoo.
Yeah,
obviously depending on the tank picks.
Of course, and it's always interesting to kind of speculate what they'll be rolling out in, what their strategy going to be implementing. Then we see the tank pick, and we go, oh, yeah, that's what they're going for. Oh, they've gone for that. It's always a cheeky little bit of fun.
We'll see. We'll see what they go for here. Maybe see a tank destroyer again out of Roby on the defense, or even on the attack. Like, the grill can work on both sides of mines. I like that. I don't expect we'll see really an artillery out of Caren Tiger. I mean, it does work very well, but generally speaking, we only see it out of them on Steps and Prokhorovka. Yeah. Where Opalisk jumps into the lineup, but Opalisk is probably going to be out now in favor of one of those other Caren Tiger players. We'll have to see if that's actually the case or not. But for me, no artillery here on mines, at least in the first or second. Well, I don't think it's going to come out at all, but probably not this first round. Depends on what side they start on. We have
seen teams experiment with it, but it's never been too successful. I do prefer maybe the T49 or the grill in lieu of the artillery piece. And
I like the T49. That was actually kind of like Opalisk's signature tank last season. He did use that quite a lot, used it very well when he was really a core member of the Caren Tiger, but I do think he's taken a bit of a step back. He's playing a little bit more of a sub role, being kind of that niche pick, that artillery piece whenever they need, but apart from that, we don't see him all that much.
True.
Wouldn't mind seeing him in a T49, wouldn't mind seeing him really any of the tier 8 tanks be a T49 here on either side. I do like it. I like it on Cliff, I like it on Mines. I just like it in general. It has some really exciting moments, and I think it can really be impactful here on Mines, especially for teams that are trying to get that reset on the beach. It makes life so easy. You don't have to worry about the pen. You can just get the free damage out, and obviously it's always got that chance to have a massive shot onto a bat chat, which is always nice.
Yeah, it's just the ability to turn the tides so drastically. If you're able to get those shots in on the T49, really gives it an identity on not only Mines but also Cliffs, as you mentioned. So it'll be interesting to see if they have brought Opalisk back to kind of regain his roots here. But in saying that, I do expect them also to probably go for something a little bit more standard, maybe sub him out for one of the more tier 10 players and just go for another bat shot. Yeah,
definitely. It is a map that Caren Tiger should have a pretty decent time on. I mean, they don't have the greatest win rates on attack, but certainly on defense they're very strong. And Coalition Zoo, they're not too strong on the attack either. They have some round wins on the defense, but definitely I'm favoring Caren Tiger going into this one. I would like to see Coalition Zoo maybe try and find a win for their first time on Mines attack. They have still got a 0% win rate. They've played it 5 times, but it's really not looking all that great for them so far this season.
Yeah, and I don't know. I want to give this to Caren Tiger. I still think they're the stronger team, but it always is in the back of my head that game against Dark Wolves that they had.
Yeah.
Where they're just kind of their own worst enemies. And I know, just knowing that that's a potential, that Caren Tiger can fall that far, just always gives that little glimmer of hope to Coalition Zoo. And if any map they're going to catch Caren Tiger sleeping or maybe find out some weaknesses, it's going to be a map like Mines, where you can, if Coalitions who play fast, they don't allow Caren Tiger enough time to react, they get a few tank picks early, they could abuse that.
Do we really see Coalitions who playing fast though? I don't feel as though that's something that they're reasonably likely to do.
They played, we saw them have like a little stint of it, I think like maybe a fortnight ago, where they just ran fast in, and it really caught me off guard being a new Coalition Zoo fan rather than way back in the day where they used to play aggressive. And all I've seen is the E100s. So I have seen them do it. It didn't work very well. Disclaimer, they lost. But it would be interesting to see, especially Mines, where you really need to get control of that hill. Teams that just give it up, they lose. That's how it goes.
I really would like to see a big brawl on the mine. I mean, we haven't seen it in a while. We've seen it occasionally so far this season, but generally both teams aren't actually contesting the hill at one time. It'll be either the attacking team just gets it for free, or they don't even bother to go for it at all, and no one contests the hill, really. But I'd like to see it. I think it would be fun. It's always one of my favorite matches.
It's what Mines is all about. It brings the excitement, and not only that, but obviously we want to see the excitement, we want to see the teams fighting, but it's such an advantageous position. It gives you pretty much control over the entire map with not a lot of counter-attack opportunity for the team that either forfeits that or loses a fight.
It is a very interesting map sometimes. Mine, it can be a blessing and a curse at times, but here for Coalition Zoo with this kind of a roster, I don't really expect we'll see too much of a contest on that mine. We'll probably see the Grill 15 sitting towards the back getting some shots, but apart from that, I think it's a favourable trade for Caren Tiger if there's a brawl on that mine.
Be good to see. We got the Grill on the side of Coalition Zoo, so favouring that as their main tank destroyer here. Probably in the hands of Roby1, who didn't do too badly on it last time around. But whether or not this is the same situation has yet to be seen, but quite aggressive positioning at a Coalition Zoo here.
I think Coalition Zoo
Tiger,
here.
sorry.
Caren Tiger are going to just try and contest that hill, but Coalition Zoo is going to try and get some damage on the cross. Pac-Manius with the early load, of course, in that TVP does get one. But aside from Hellcry, no one from Caren Tiger particularly interested in actually heading up in that direction, so I think that's fine. Taking only a single shot, Hellcry's not going to be too bothered by that.
Yeah, you can see 3 members of Caren Tiger just kind of watching the flank, making sure no one's coming through on the village here. So now, how do Coalition Zoo go about playing this? On the defense, they do have the luxury of time. But if they give Caren Tiger too much map control, they're going to find themselves getting pelted from all angles, and that can just result in a very difficult situation to claw yourself back in from. So maybe they just want to let Roby kind of scope out, get a shot, and then use that to go from there. But he's watching the coastal line, and that's without God Vision here. We know that's the complete opposite side of the map that Caren Tiger are pressuring.
I like that Polly's going for the boost here. There's not really going to be anyone from Coalition Zoo that will spot him out. Oh, he's decided not to go for the boost. But he could have, and I want to see him go for the boost because there's no one here really from Coalition Zoo that can spot him out. Maybe he was just trying to see if he got spotted and Odeko's going to go for the boost here. But regardless, if someone from Caren Tiger gets up on that boost, it is going to be very, very useful for them because they've kind of got a full bat chat lineup, so there's not anyone that they can kind of send in early on in the piece to take a bit of damage, to get them in a position to actually do the damage. So if they have a bat chat up on the boost, he can maybe get a couple of sneaky shots in, get the advantageous trades working in the favor of Caren Tiger. I like this decision.
Polly could be going for it right now as Nadeko rotating his way back around. Looks like Polly will be going for the boost. Wonder if he makes it up or not. Judging by the minimap, looks like he's slowly getting his way on up there. Yep, Mountain tanking it up. Ensuring that he can get up there. Oh, has he been unseen? Doesn't look like anyone from Coalition Zoo is in position to spot him out. This is going to be great. They basically have control of every single vantage point on the map for Caren Tiger at the moment. Nomad, Joke and the boys want to push up through this chokehold. It's very dangerous if Caren Tiger...
It's quite risky, I think, for Coalition Zoo to make any kind of a move here because of the fact that basically the entire Caren Tiger lineup is autoloaders. So if they make one wrong move, they are dead. That's
just the nature of things here. Roby1 looking up on the mountain, making sure he's got an inkling.
Yeah,
that,
I think it's fair enough. Like,
there.
you know, they don't have anyone to spot the boost. Caren Tiger aren't making any moves. You got to think, put 2 and 2 together and say, okay, there's a pretty reasonably likely chance that there will be someone up on that boost for Caren Tiger.
Nadeko making a little boost of his own. These guys all showing off their mountain tanking skills here. Wonder if he's going to be able to get all the way up to the top.
Yep, easy. He's pretty much already made it, actually. And no, he's
beg your pardon, John?
Well, you know, it looked good.
Yeah.
For a moment, I thought he was going to get over there, but I think he might have just gone too far to the left. Regardless, though...
Maybe distracted by that cool fact.
Yeah, maybe. It was such a cool fact, if I say so myself.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Polly up on the hill now. Well, the mountain, rather. Has complete vision over the map should he choose to...
Has he been spotted out yet? I don't think he has.
Don't think so, no.
So, well, he will be spotted out momentarily.
Well, it depends on how many he spots in the process, though. Gonna make it worth your while. Very slow pace game here. That's the patented Blakey zoom.
Blakey zoom.
Oh.
It's slow going at the moment for Caren Tiger. They haven't really done all that much. I mean, now Polly's spotted out, so information there for Coalition Zoo. Amaro starting to make his way up the beach here, but he should get spotted out by Chippy.
Yeah, he should.
At least once he pushes past this bush.
They have a good defensive line here. There's no way that Caren Tiger can sneak in without being spotted from pretty much any angle. It's whether or not it's whether Caren Tiger want to make the push from Fog of War or just kind of go balls to the walls and run straight down the mid.
I don't think running down mid is the greatest of ideas.
Run it down mid.
They will get lit up by that grill. There's a couple of 113s in there, or one 113 and a WZ 111. Might as well be the same thing, really, I guess. But both of them going to be able to put out the damage. And then there's bat chats in shooting positions as well for Coalition Zoo. So Caren Tiger need to be just a little bit smarter than to just run down through that 5 lane.
Oh, they're gonna if they're gonna be smarter, they have to do it soon. 4.5 minutes left on the clock for Caren Tiger to make their move. Coalition Zoo, they know they're in a position where they can just hang back, relax, kick your feet up, eat some of your respective tanks' lunch, have a good time. Caren Tiger, the onus is on them. They're the ones that have to make the play. And it looks like they got their triple bat chat threat all set up around the lighthouse, and it's not just for sightseeing here. Might be going for a play onto Chippies in that bat chat AP.
I think that's probably the best option for them. Yes, they will take some damage from Roby and potentially Pac-Manius as well, but in reality, Chippy is relatively isolated here, so they could pick him up pretty easily. Oh, missed shot from Roby onto Hellcry.
Wow.
Yupa in the 51-20 taking down Nomad. So, one tank down already for Coalition Zoo. The move is being made by Caren Tiger.
Oh, Chippy playing Ringer on the Rosie. He's going to completely avoid the Batshot threat, but does that completely leave vulnerable Pac-Manius and Roby Wine? A little bit of a selfish play by Chippy, maybe.
Yes, potentially.
He's going to pay for it, though, because he's trying to hunt down Akio V, but...
Yeah, he has to do something with this, and he actually probably can. I don't think he's got enough damage there. No, he doesn't have enough damage in the clip left to deal with Akio V, especially if he misses one of those shots, but he's causing a bit of havoc, really, in the back there for Caren Tiger. So if Coalition Zoo can actually use this and maybe get some shots into the sides of those Caren Tiger players while they're distracted, it could have been something. But
yeah, trying to cause a ruckus.
Not the case.
The right police came in, shut that one down. Now could be very smooth sailing for Caren Tiger here, but Nadeko needs to get this trade at least onto Roby before he goes down. Roby going to be on the reload soon. He's coming around the corner. He just obliterates him off the face of the earth. See you later, Nadeko.
Yeah, health advantage actually with Coalition Zoo at the moment, even though Caren Tiger have an extra tank on the field. Very, very interesting positions though on this map.
Hellcry finds that one with the help of Mario. Pac-Manius goes down. Joke tries to get a return shot. Not going to find it. Roby hits one huge one, but it's not going to do enough. 41 HP and Hellcry. That's the player that kills Joke. So if Roby had killed him, they would have still had the 113 left in the field.
Yeah, unfortunate for Coalition Zoo there, but it's a good situation now for Caren Tiger. It was looking a little dicey for a moment there, but they have managed to pull things back. Another low roll from Roby. Unfortunate for him. He definitely could have killed Akio V there if he had got a better roll. But that is it, exactly. And Akio V survives for now. Maybe he's going to be able to take him down regardless, because looks like the reload's... never mind. He was not quite far enough around the corner there for Maro to miss a shot, but Coalition Zoo, only 2 tanks left alive. Beached and Lion, they're pushing into Bordame, who's managed to only get 1 shot out before he goes down, but overall, I think this is another round for Caren Tiger.
Yeah, Coalition Zoo is looking promising for them, but that little Batshot rush coming out of Caren Tiger, catching Chippy off guard, finishing him off, and then they had the positional advantage, were able to get the shots into the 113 and the WZ in the back. Force the hand of Coalition Zoo. When you're going forward, getting shot in the back, getting shot in the front, there's really not a lot that you can do finished off.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of time now here for Caren Tiger, tanking a few shells with Yupa. He had a lot of HP to play with, and always a nice situation there, and that is going to be that.
Yep.
Caren Tiger find their 3rd round.
Very convincing stuff out of Caren Tiger right now. It's looking quite grim for Coalition Zoo. Not sure if they're even going to get a win under their belt here if this way keeps up, because Mine's not looking good. Another half of Mine's coming up, and then Muravenka, I think, on the 3rd map. They're going to have to win the 1st round of that just to have a shot.
Yeah, that was actually Caren Tiger on the attack as well, picking up a round win, which has been really their poorer side They haven't got too many wins on that one. They're moving over to the defensive side now, so I'd say they're feeling pretty comfortable about how this one is going. If there was going to be a 1-1, I felt as though that was going to be the one that Caren Tiger would lose.
Yeah, you're right here, and things are looking grim for Coalition Zoo. They have a big fat 0% win ratio on their attack side on mine, so unless they can upset the statistics, go against the grain, it's looking pretty much over for mines.
Yeah, I mean, statistics aren't everything. There's always a first time for everything here for Coalition Zoo, but is it against Caren Tiger? Not so sure about that, to be honest.
No. Now, coming into the second half, what could we expect? Like, let's say that we're not being too harsh on Caren Tiger, Coalition Zoo here. We got to give them every chance that they've earned to take a round here. How do they do it, Jordan? What do they roll out with? What do they play?
Yeah, well, first they kind of have to analyze what kind of a setup Caren Tiger is running, because if Caren Tiger is running a fast setup, you know, Bat Chats, maybe a TVP in there as well as 113s, I suppose, as their heaviest tanks, it could potentially be a quick push from Caren Tiger onto the hill. So they need to think, do we even want to contest the hill? How do we go about it? They could set up like Wargaming does on their attack with a couple of players in positions to actually snipe the players that are going for the cross into the hill. So I think really what it comes down to here is what Caren Tiger picks on the defense and how Coalition Zoo react to it. Yeah,
and I really think a lot of teams just aren't expecting the lighthouse push that we've seen pretty much every attacking squad do, and 9 times out of 10 it's working out here. So if Coalition Zoo are wise up to that, then maybe they have another way of cracking the defenses of Caren Tiger here. That's what Caren Tiger did, and it worked out great. We saw EL doing it before. We've seen teams just focusing it on mines, and looks good for them.
We know that Coalition Zoo can do the boost as well. We've seen Joke up there more often than not for Coalition Zoo, so that's another option for them. I guess, you know, so far this season it hasn't really worked out, but yeah, across the board it's almost the Magic 7 for Caren Tiger, but Roby ruining that dream.
By a long shot though, so it wasn't really that close.
No, it wasn't close at all. Roby did a good job again in the grill, but yeah, where's all the other players for Coalition Zoo? Missing.
Yeah, I just felt like it was another one of the games where Coalition Zoo, they come onto the field and they go, all right, let's see how long we can last without doing anything. And no proactive plays, no movements.
I mean,
I understand you got to get the spottings. There's so much that goes into play when playing tanks here, but it just seems like they're not putting themselves into the positions that are allowing them to win the game.
Admittedly, like, they were on the defensive side, so they didn't necessarily need to be making those moves, but you're right, they didn't give themselves all that many opportunities. I mean, Caren Tiger were able to get so many free shots.
They had one tank defending the coastal line. And
yeah, normally you see 2 or 3 there.
Yeah, it was just a Batchat AP, so of course it's going to go down when the triple Batchat tier 10s come through and take him out. Like, they're just not giving themselves the best chance to win this game, and it's such a rising trend to do that push. And Adeko, he wasn't even close to breaking the top 7, Jordan.
Nope. Nowhere near it. Didn't even get a single point of damage off. So that's not too great for him, but oh well. I mean, Caren Tiger wins, so they're not going to be too bothered by how the damage
I doubt anyone but the viewers and us care too much about that.
Exactly. But, well, what we should be caring about is the second half here of Mines. I definitely think Caren Tiger are really looking good here. They really are looking like they're going to be able to 4-0 this one and potentially 5-0 this one. I mean, Muravanka has not been a map that they've been hugely comfortable on, but the way they're looking tonight, it is just looking like they're fairly far ahead of Coalition.
The good Caren Tiger came out to play tonight, which is great to see, because when they're playing good tanks, they look like one of those teams. Like you said, the 3rd best team in this competition. 1st and 2nd question marks surrounding that one, but at least in Caren Tiger, we have that consistency, we have that solidity that lets us know where kind of the benchmark is for these teams right now.
Yeah, definitely. And we haven't really seen Coalition Zoo, I suppose, contest any of the top sort of 5-6 teams, really. They've been able to take wins off B-Gaming and Dark Wolves, which is fair enough, good, but you know, even B-Gaming and even Dark Wolves have been able to get some points on the board against some of the top-tier teams. That's something that we've been missing from Coalition Zoo. So maybe they are a team that, you know, just likes to go up against teams of equal skill level, but once they go up against teams that are a little bit stronger than them, they sort of just capitulate a little bit. So that's something that I think is worrying me a little bit here as well. We haven't seen them do it before. Wants to say they're going to be able to do it now against Caren Tiger, especially considering they're down 0-3. Not off to a great start at all. Yeah,
it's a tough rut to dig yourself out of, so I'm not expecting anything too flashy coming out of the Coalition Zoo. And if they want a chance at winning this series, and they just got to go back to their roots, they got to go back to what works, and just kind of knuckle down, focus, think about what are the games that Caren Tiger have lost? How did Dark Wolves beat them? Where were their weaknesses? Where do they lie? What maps were they on? What were the strategies that they pulled out? And kind of just go think back to all the research and planning that went into these games. And
I think
I'm reaching at straws here, Jordan.
Yeah, I think a lot of that loss for Caren Tiger was really just Caren Tiger potato.
I know.
They had a bit of bad luck with RNG in the last round on Hillstop
that
as well.
was heartbreaking.
I think it was Maro getting ammo racked from almost full HP.
Everything went wrong.
But yeah, I mean, I just don't see Coalition Zoo being able to pull much off here against Caren Tiger. The way that this has started off, the way that Caren Tiger's looked tonight, yeah, I mean, it's wishful thinking for Coalition Zoo at this point.
Yeah, second half of Mines could be grim. They are on the attack, their weaker side here. So Caren Tiger, how do they shut this one out fast and easy, Jordan?
They just go in. They just fight. I mean, we've seen them do it before. They did it against Horsemen earlier on in the season. Horsemen, who is a stronger team than Coalition Zoo. Caren Tiger was confident enough to do it against them. I think they'll be confident enough to do it here against Coalition Zoo. And if they do decide to take that fast fight, you know, obviously Coalition Zoo's tank lineup permitting, they should be able to have a pretty good time.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We often see confidence really being a boon to these teams, especially in these fast, aggressive maps. It's get in there, get the crossfire, get the focus fire, take out a few tanks here. But with that E100 something and the artillery,
well, it's not going to be a fast strategy.
No,
Caren Tiger.
no.
That much is known.
Set in stone now, I think.
Opalisk back in this one with that Lorraine, you would think. Coalition Zoo are going to have an easy time of controlling that hill. I mean, there's not going to be a contest from Caren Tiger with 2 IS4s at an E100. So if Coalition Zoo want to head in that direction, they can go for it. I'm not thinking a beach cap strategy is going to work out too well for Coalition Zoo with that lineup. They don't have a tank that can really sit on that 2 flag and get all that much work done. So I do think that the hill really is the way to go here for Coalition Zoo. They're going to need to try and control that area of the map and make good use of it.
Yeah, Coalition Zoo have identified that straight off the bat, and the tanks as well. So coming into this one, shouldn't be too difficult for them to say, hey, let's just control the hill for this game. But now the onus is on Caren Tiger with their artillery.
Favourable trades already here for Coalition Zoo. So, sorry for Caren Tiger, not a great start for Coalition Zoo.
No.
Opalisk yet to fire, I think. Oh no, he might have already fired one. Perhaps onto Pac-Manius.
Not sure who he hit there, but Caren Tiger now up 3-0 to Coalition Zoo. They've got their defensive line set up. Let's jump on board with their communications. Have a quick listen in with Caren Tiger to see how they go about defending the Coalition Zoo's offense.
壊れた壊れた
バレない。
あ、オッケー、島いない。
ロード35。30。
東回してんのかな。
25。
あ、バレたバレたバレたバレた。丘上か、もしかし西。
島
今
の東大一の東大のところ。丘上からバレないようにしてくれればいいわ。丘上だったらここで
15。
出るのかな。いや、俺が見れるんじゃないあれ。
ちょっと見て。
うん。丘上からじゃあバレてないか。
5秒
じゃあ島いるね、まだ。
オッ
5
ケー。
秒5秒5秒5秒。
いや、丘上じゃないよ。俺は。ここで見た可能性はあるけど。
弾いった弾いった。
あの君バレるか教えて。
バレない。
ない。
ちょっと奥目の方まで出すわ、体。
また。
今バレない、バレない、バレない、バレない。
俺がバレた。一番。
バレた。
いや、俺がバレたけど、まあ、知らないし。
あ、まあまあ、オッケー。
まあ相手アーティーないし
あ、なんか。
島からバレてない。バレた、バレた、バレた、バレた、バレた。島いる。
あ、ここにいるよ、ここにいる。ここ、下だ、下。あの、ここ。F1、F2 か、F2 出たり入ったりしてる。ただ、撃たない方がいいんじゃない？グリー打った瞬間出てくる可能性あるよ。
これちょっと前目に聞いてみるよ。バットがね、ここにブラインド。
Not much going on for Coalition Zoo on the offense here. Caren Tiger, you can hear them chattering amongst themselves, and nothing too urgent coming through because they know that Coalition haven't pressed the attack just yet. Polly, a little bit of a bush here. Going to be getting any spots from anyone coming down from the mines, and this is a very cinematic view of a tank in a bush.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to make it exciting. And at the moment, Coalition Zoo's not doing all that much, but only 3 minutes gone, so that's fair enough. They've got Roby posted over on the beach. He's not spotted anything out. I mean, there is potential here for Coalition Zoo. If they recognize that there's no one down in that 1-2 line, they could send their bat chats down there, Pac-Manius and Lion, maybe even Chippy as well in that TVP. I think that's the opening here that Coalition Zoo need to make use of.
Yeah, we see once again the coastal line only defended by Maro and Madame coming out of Caren Tiger. So if Coalition Zoo were maybe able, they don't have the far, they don't have. They got 2 bat shots and a. Oh, they got 3 bat shots. They could potentially go for it. Looks like actually what they might be lining up to do is Joke and Pac-Manius both making the move over to line. Could have read my mind here, Jordan, and might be seeing the triple bat chat push going on the coastline. Something we've seen out of a lot of teams.
Push would be a little bit surprising.
I think they're going for it though.
Do we see 3 or do we see 2
We see
and a
3.
TVP? I wonder. Or even they can put all 3 and the TVP. That's committing a lot to that position.
Look, it's Joke, Pac-Manius, and Lion. So
Yeah.
the triple bat
Yeah, it
chat.
must be. It has to be. Okay, fair enough.
Who's with the TV? Chippy. He's going to
Chippy's
be.
in the
He's up
yeah,
on the
he's in
mountain.
mid. Yep. All right. I actually, admittedly, thought there was only 2 bat chats on the lineup for Coalition 2 until I had a second look. So that's why I was going to be surprised by a triple bat chat.
You got your eyes on something else at the moment, Jordan.
Yeah. That's well, my dinner. But are they actually going to commit to this? I mean, there's still lots of time. They don't necessarily need to go just yet. Roby, I wonder if he was going for the boost there. Like, or not going for the boost, but like if he was thinking about going for it. Obviously, no chance for him to do that now because he's been spotted out. Yupa in a very, very forward position in the IS-4, doing a good job of denying that area of the map. Just another little thing that's working in the favor of Caren Tiger.
Yupa just going to be hanging out here, making sure that no one's going to be moving up on that 1 flag. The rest of Coalition Zoo have backed off though. Don't want to do anything just yet. They have the triple bat shot set up at the lighthouse. You can see, ooh, artillery coming through, trying to knock it down. Unfortunately, that's not destructible terrain, even though we like to joke about it.
I think he was just trying to see if there was a bat chat there. Would have been a nice shot if he had have hit that, but
Instead, he's just damaging public property.
yeah, basically.
Scumbag.
I mean, maybe it's a private lighthouse.
Could
Who
be.
knows? Who knows?
Bit deserted at the moment anyway.
You would think so. If there's a bunch of tanks driving around, I'm not sure you necessarily want to be in that position. Roby again exploring this, 0 line, but there's no chance he's going to get the boost off here, and I think that's what Coalition Zoo really want.
Yeah, he keeps darting in and out thinking, oh, can I get in unseen this time? And nope. No. And spotted immediately.
Joke takes a bit of damage there as well. Was it from the artillery? Possibly. It was a big chunk. 789.
I think it was from the grill.
More Dame potentially.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's on the reload too. Okay, so not too bad of a start here for Caren Tiger. They've done a lot of damage over already.
Oh,
There's a shot from the artillery.
Yeah, didn't hit anyone though. The bat shouts have been completely spotted out here. They're all lit up. You can see Hellcrow. Oh, push from Nomad and Crazy coming down straight from the mines here. They might be going for this one.
Maybe. Nomad is pushing forward. They need backup from those bat chats, and it looks like Coalition Zoo starting to get some damage across, but really it's not that much, to be honest.
Roby goes down.
And
Maro
Mara's-
can't find the shot.
Mara's just bouncing all of these shells. Like, he's not bothered by those bat chats at all. Coalition Zoo are losing trades across the map, and that's just not how you win a game.
Yep, this is looking bad. The bat chat's sustaining so much damage before they're even getting in the fight. Joke may be able to take out Maro if he's lucky here.
Again, another
Doesn't
bounce.
look like he is though. Oh, can Lion get in there? Saves the shot, but that's still damage.
I think that was
connected.
unintentional as well. But regardless, it's not going to be a great situation here for Coalition Zoo. Look at how much
Maro
damage
finally
there
goes down. Polly finds himself a double kill on the side of Caren Tiger here. Looking for some more, but the bat shot's just not getting into position in time. They're all quite low. Pac-Manius, Lion, and Joke were meant to be the main initiate or engagement here. The last one's left alive. Now Akio V made his way over. He's going to find the kill onto Joke. Hillcrow takes out Pac-Manius, and Lion.
Yeah, Lion, I
falling
think,
any second now.
out of ammo there. Unfortunate for him not able to take down Akio V, but it wouldn't have made a difference in the end. Anyway, it's just Chippy that Caren Tiger have to deal with here. Polly might go down to Chippy. Nope, actually Chippy's on the reload. So Polly could clean this one up, unless he gets rammed to death.
Oh, get him, Chippy!
Well,
That's all I got.
consolation prize.
For
Yeah, wasn't that exciting.
you, maybe.
Nah, not for me. I'm the party pooper, Max. Don't you know that by now?
Lately, Alex has been taking that role, so who knows?
I'm taking it back.
You two are switching in and out. You're spending too much time together, Jordan. You can't become the same person.
Ugh, God forbid.
God forbid.
I don't
Look,
want hair like that.
I'm sure he doesn't want hair like yours either.
Oh, please. That's a lie.
Oh, well, a lie would also be calling Coalition Zoo to 5-4 Caren Tiger. Another lie by Mr. Blakey.
Well, yeah, I don't see the 5-4 coming out here. It's going to be a 5-0 from here on out for Coalition Zoo if they're going to be able to do that. And to be honest, it's not looking like that's going to be the case. We've never ever seen that happen before. A team can come back from 4-0 down to 5-4 and then
that would
win.
be an impressive feat to win this.
I don't think it's possible at all. Muravanka, admittedly, is a map that Caren Tiger haven't been hugely comfortable on, but I still think that they should have a pretty good time here. They're just looking like man for man. Individually, they're working better. They're hitting a lot more shots, and they're working better as a team.
I really feel like that's the two things. That's like one of the main things that's separating these two squads right now. Is every single time we watch the games, Caren Tiger are finding shots onto Coalition Zoo, and Coalition Zoo are not returning the damage. No. They're not finding connects of their own. They're not wasting time is the wrong way of putting it, but they're biding
health.
They're biding their time, but at the same time they're just taking damage for nothing.
Yeah, they're not really trading back well at all.
They're not.
I think is the
really
key takeaway. And you're never going to win a game if you're not trading correctly. And obviously, Coalition Zoo is not winning the games. So, you know, even by this stage, they start doing a bit of damage over to Polly and Maro.
I think he gets himself a double kill here, actually.
Like, it's too late. Yeah, he actually does. I mean, he's so low. You know, one person needed to get a shot into him, and it could have saved 2 lives, but no one from Coalition Zoo was there to do it. Caren Tiger take advantage of it.
Oh, have you ever seen something so cool before, Jordan?
No way, never, ever. Never
I guess we already had the double flips tonight, so I'll chalk that one.
Yeah,
up
I think
to
the
being
double
the
flip was
coolest
cooler,
thing
even though it
tonight.
was way more fail.
Well, that wasn't really a fail. That was just a consolation prize.
That was a consolation prize. Grill of Mordame doing a decent amount of damage. Polly and Akiov up there. Maro as well. No Yupa, but fair enough. Caren Tiger still pick up the win.
Yeah, I really think that triple bat chat push just poorly executed. Took too long. Caren Tiger fully in position, ready for it, ready in and waiting. Came around. You can see Modama, he was hitting his shots, accuracy on point, 2.7k. Pretty much over from then on out. Lion trying to do some work. Omad as well. Chippy in the TVP. Did a little bit, got the ram in the end as well to get himself a kill.
Just padding the stats as much as he can.
Someone's got to.
Always got to do that.
Roby's not, so someone has to.
Madhouse isn't here to pad his stats tonight, so someone on Coalition Zoo has to do it. But, well, yeah, as you said, it's not Roby and it's not Pac-Manius, that's for sure. They've not done a whole lot.
Opulus, he's nicking some shots here.
Yeah, 968. I mean, that's...
Not the same impact as his Prokhorovka, but...
It's not super impactful, but it's reasonable. I mean, you don't always see a tier 8 light tank getting up towards that sort of a number, so it's probably still, I think, fair enough.
Sure.
I don't think it was hugely impactful. I mean, Caren Tiger felt like they were going to win that one anyway.
Yep. Good game. Caren Tiger currently up 4-0 at the moment. It's going to take an absolute miracle, something unheard of, something undone in the APAC region for Coalition Zoo to come back and take this series. So now all that's left for them to do is not bow their heads in shame. Get a win on the board. Get something. Coalition Zoo here. Get something.
Yeah.
Just one round.
They don't want to get 5-0.
Preferably one round, not 2.
Oh, yeah, so you can have a correct prediction.
I got to catch up.
You do have to catch up. You're still lagging a little bit behind, mate.
Alex isn't winning this one, so I'm catching up by proxy.
Yeah, well, you might be able to steal the second position away from Alex, but you're getting nowhere near me. I'm miles ahead of you at the moment, mate.
We'll see.
Yeah, potential for one round here on Muravanka from Coalition Zoo. It, like I said, hasn't been a great map for Caren Tiger. They haven't even really played it all that much so far this season, and it honestly hasn't been an awful map for Coalition Zoo. They have picked up some wins on it. Admittedly, I think that was against Dark Wolves and a Team Efficiency who was playing in their very first match of the season. It was their very first map of the season, and they just didn't look good on it at all. So I think that was almost a free win for Coalition Zoo in that sense. But the games against Dark Wolves looked all right. Are they going to be able to do the same here against Caren Tiger? Probably not. The way Caren Tiger's looking, they are just individually so much better at the moment than the Coalition Zoo.
Yeah, this is a very strong night for Caren Tiger. They're really showing up. They're kind of expelling all that doubt in our minds that Which is odd because they often do that after a miserable loss. As they come back in, they look really, really strong, and then next week they just roll over and die.
Yeah.
Which is kind of reflected on their streak: win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, and this will be the win after the loss. So
Yeah.
it's very questionable.
I mean, they did lose to EL Gaming, so fair enough. The loss to Dark Wolves obviously is
That's the one in
not
question.
so great. I'm really looking forward to actually seeing Caren Tiger team efficiency play again, because that was a pretty close one.
That would be nice.
5-4 initially, so
Oh, yeah.
that's another big one I think for Caren Tiger here. But this one, you know, admittedly should be a pretty easy time for them. Some free points on the board for them. Coalitions who have been struggling all season really, and they haven't, you know, been able to contest pretty much any of the teams that have looked like they've been able to sit towards the top of the standings. I mean, B Gaming has been really poor this season for the most part. Dark Wolves have been poor this season as well, and they're the only teams that Coalition Zoo has been able to win rounds over, both of which I believe were actually tiebreaker wins as well. So it's not like they were convincing wins for Coalition Zoo.
Yeah, I don't know. Coalition Zoo, they really got a lot of work to put in if they want to at least get into 7th or 6th by the end of the season. There's still a long time ahead of them. They're not done and dusted yet. They still have a lot of time to practice up. And what are some of the things that Coalition Zoo need to do here? In just in general teamwork and stuff, do you think?
Well, they need to hit their shots, which is not happening necessarily all the time here.
Mechanics, yep.
They need to trade a little bit better, which I guess goes down to hitting their shots as well. But they need to find better positions, because a lot of the time we're seeing Caren Tiger in good positions to just get free damage out and not take anything in return. I mean, even, for example, Yupo in his IS-4 forward there, just denying the boost for Coalition Zoo. It just feels like Caren Tiger at the moment reading the map a little bit better, getting in better positions, and that's kind of just really choking Coalition Zoo out. And that's something that Coalition Zoo have struggled with in the past as well, is controlling the map as well as their opponents. That's obviously being shown here tonight, and, you know, Caren Tiger taking advantage of it.
Yeah, it's not an easy fix. It's going to take a lot of hard work and determination and just practice, because like you said, it comes down to a mechanical skill, hitting those shots. I know we sit here in our ivory tower and watch the game with our God vision and go, oh, should have been hitting those easy shots, but it's not as easy as it looks, I'm sure. So
no, of course not.
It all comes down to a lot of practice, a lot of hard work. Like you play with some of these guys, and I'm sure they shine amongst just your average rabble.
They're far, far better than, you know, the average World Tanks player,
average Joe tank.
Up against some of the best players in the region, you know, not having the greatest of times. And here we go. We've got the tank lineups. T125, Kranwagen for Coalition Zoo. Nothing too crazy across the board there. The mouse, though, for Caren Tiger. We've seen that before here on Muravanka at least once. See how it goes against the Coalition Zoo.
I feel like this is, you know, when a big man array has all the little fish under it. I feel like that's what we're seeing here with the mouse and the bat shout. So you got the big tank and all the little ones kind of crowding around underneath.
You would think so. You'd think so.
Would I think so?
I don't know. I think a lot of crazy things, mate.
Oh, well, that's how you wind up in tanks casting, friend.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, just be a bit too crazy for everything else.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we'll see what this mouse does here for Caren Tiger. Could go on the flag, but I suspect it's probably just going to push a little bit further forward towards that little hill. Maybe get some bat chats on the flag there for Caren Tiger. How Coalition Zoo will respond to the mouse? Well, that's the important question here, isn't it?
Oh, there are a lot of important questions here. How do Coalition Zoo really do anything against the Caren Tiger pressure at the moment? We could be jumping into our last round of the series. It's been a long night tonight, and Caren Tiger looks like they're sick of waiting too. They want to end this now. They want to finish off the Coalition Zoo, as we could be seeing a very wide spread. This is something we're seeing a lot recently, especially this weekend coming out of attacking teams on Muravanka. They're not just running straight into that one flag. They're branching out. They're sending the scouts through the Magic Forest. Saw the mouse, I think, yesterday as well, slowly trudging its way in to get into that back line.
Yeah, well, slowly is one thing that the mouse does well. Lion takes a shot early on in the piece here, but nothing to worry about so far for Coalition Zoo. They are kind of allowing the mouse to get in position really without doing too much damage to it. Admittedly, it is hard to damage anything in that position if you do even spot it out, which as of yet, Coalition Zoo haven't spotted out. It's a fairly clear run really for the attacking side to get this far up. Nomad takes a shot from the mouse, who
doesn't trade back.
Nomad didn't spot out Nadeko. I'm not sure how that happened, but okay. As of yet, Coalition Zoo have not really spotted any of the Caren Tiger tanks. They know where the mouse is because they've taken a shot from it, but
yeah,
I don't know how he didn't spot him.
Coalition Zoo now on the defensive. They really need this round to stay alive. They've got their backs up against the wall. So let's jump into their team speak and have a listen to how they plan to defend against the Caren Tiger onslaught.
Move.
No, APAC, because they could be using that as bait to try and...
No, I mean, I'm not parked properly.
Oh.
On a map like this, with the tanks that we have, the mouse can be made irrelevant. Like, we can run away from it.
We can kill 2 bats chats coming at us. We need focus fire and about a couple of gallons of it.
Lion.
Probably like 2 more players, to be honest, but anyway.
Just 3 more players, guys. We need 10, please. We need 10 players. We are super bad.
Yeah.
We just need to get good, guys. Come on.
So, happy listening, guys.
Silver League was way fun.
Be careful for the bait, they could all be waiting
No
to
bad.
snipe from the forest. Yeah.
The mouse is a bad bait.
Yeah, so pull down, don't let him fucking shoot you, pull down.
Maybe track him when he comes up. That'd be a
From a
nice
track.
thing.
I had him in the track, nothing.
Happy listen-ins is alright coming
Yeah.
from Coalition Zoo.
Is
You
that the
heard
same
it
as happy tanking?
from their point of view.
Maybe.
Look, you heard it from themselves. They just got to get good. And it's not as easy as it sounds, of course, so hopefully they can take this loss in stride. It sounds like they're having still a little bit of fun playing tanks tonight, so...
Yep.
Oh no,
Deco.
but here comes the push from Caren Tiger. Kraziv, he's going to get taken down immediately. Goes flying sky high. Yupa gets swapped out here for Polly in the bat AP. Going to move it up with Modame and Hellcry getting shots onto Chippy Joke. Might be the target under duress here as Hellcry just going to be running rampant around him. But he does have backup by Roby1.
Who's hitting shots in someone else's direction. Polly the focus here at the moment for Coalition Zoo does go down. Hellcry though,
good
quite
stuff.
able to get all of the damage that he needed onto Joke there. So overall, it's actually not been too bad of a trade for Coalition Zoo. 1 for 1 at the moment, health relatively even. But looks like Caren Tiger's starting to get the better of it now.
Yeah, the mouse is still alive as well. Does get tracked in the process of moving around. You're going to be looking slowly but surely. Can he get a find a shot onto Nomad? Oh, just bouncing shells left, right, and center.
That's what the mouse does every now and then. Nadeko does take another shot there from
Oh, and there's another one.
2 Pac-Manius.
And another one.
Lots of bouncers. Coalition Zoo really struggling.
And another one.
Pac-Manius, I mean, he's not going to have the easiest of time getting through a mouse, but he does manage to connect both of those shots, and in the end,
At what
actually,
cost?
the mouse does go down. I mean, it's not too bad at the moment for Coalition Zoo. This is very close. 4 versus 4. Hellcry's a 1 shot. So is Joke.
They're going to have to come in here. They've got a few fully loaded bat shots. They're going to find Nomad any second now. He goes down, but Amo finishes him off, but they need to stay alive for just a little bit longer.
No one has an angle on Modame.
doesn't have any ammo left in the chamber, but Joke
Joke
finds
does.
one onto Modame. It's a 3 versus 3 Hellcry 1-shot. Akiovi barely enough health to survive when Maro narrowly avoids getting tagged there by Joke in the STB1.
This is going to be down to Maro, how much work he can get done, because he's the one with HP and he takes
He
down
gets it.
Roby. Now he
Fights
can
on
go
the
in for
Lion.
the trade with Lion.
Oh, 2 shots in the chamber. Lion going to be fully reloaded soon. Does he have backup? Where is Akiovi? Where is Hellcry? A shot narrowly avoids him straight over the head. Joke can't connect it. 2 bullets left.
Yeah, Maro is going to need some help from someone else, more than likely to actually take down Lion there. So I think it's not actually a bad idea here for him to back up.
Oh, they found
Exactly.
Joke.
That,
Yep.
That's good. They take down Joke, and now that's pretty much the game over here, really, for Lion. It's hard to say how many shells he has left in his clip. 2, so he can't kill both these tanks. There's no way that he can kill Maro and Hellcry, unless for some reason maybe Hellcry rams him and he dies or something like that, but I think it's unlikely.
Yep, Maro should just have no issues poking over and
There
getting
we
in.
go.
It doesn't matter. Hellcry finishes him off 5-0 to Caren Tiger. Very good stuff. And
Yep.
it's a shame Muravanka didn't come early, because that was the one map that looked close tonight.
Yeah, it was kind of close, but in the end, I mean, Caren Tiger pulled off a decent win
Well,
anyway.
I guess it's the same as Prokhorovka, right?
Yeah.
Once the dust settled, you can see that it realistically was pretty much done.
Yeah,
from that,
exactly.
from like a few tanks in. But regardless, great stuff out of Caren Tiger. They showed up tonight. They're kind of expelling a lot of doubt in everyone's mind that are they the 3rd best? A Horseman and Meltdown vying for that spot. Doesn't look like if Caren Tiger can play that standard more and more often.
No.
then they've solidified themselves in third.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good result at all for Coalition Zoo. Would have liked to have seen them get a couple more rounds on the board, but not even able to get a single one.
Yeah, a couple
against
more is
Caren Tiger, who has been somewhat shaky. You know, it's again showing the weakness of Coalition Zoo throughout this league up against some of those tougher teams. You know, they have really struggled against the top teams in the league so far. So, you know, just another one on the board there for Caren Tiger, another notch to tick off or another tally to put on. I think they're going to be quite happy with how that's turned out. I mean, you know, they themselves have struggled. They themselves have not been very happy with how they've been playing recently, but to get a 5-0 there, you know, it's just a bit of a confidence booster.
Yeah, and they needed it too, which is good for them. Of course, on the other side of the table, Coalitions are unfortunately falling 0-5. You heard it in their communications in that last game. They're having some fun. They're still taking it seriously, but they know that they're in a pretty bad spot at the moment. So hopefully they can knuckle down. They've got a week to practice, a week to rectify any mistakes, come back into the series, and we'll come back into next week's series and bring us some great quality tanking. And look at the bounces that
yeah, this was pretty poor from Coalition Zoo, admittedly. Like, there was a few shots there that probably could have gone through. Some of them were not at the greatest of angles, but some of them definitely, you know, if they had been placed maybe a little bit better, could have gone through. And that might have been the difference, really. This is how close it got down to.
There's a shot that Joke just literally went straight over Maro's head.
That could have been a crucial one as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been a dead Maro there.
Yeah.
It was Hellcry in the end who actually picked up the kill, so maybe wouldn't have influenced things, but...
Hellcry was 61 HP.
Yeah.
So you never know, right? Joke did a lot of damage as well. It's a shame that one of those game-changing shots just narrowly avoided here. 4.6k, that's what happens when you just pretty much popping off in the STB.
Yeah, STB can really pump out the damage. It's got quite a high DPM. You know, its gun is not the most accurate, but if it's working in your favor, then definitely I think you can put out big numbers, and that's exactly what Joke's done there. Unfortunately for him, not quite enough for his team to pull off the win, as we did see Caren Tiger pulling it off in the end there.
The mouse being allowed to survive for very, very long.
Yeah, and he dealt so much damage in that mouse as well.
Deco, 2.5k. It's a lot of damage. The rest of the small fish under the manta ray doing work, feeding off him.
Krazib none in the Kronwagen.
Ooh, you can't be having that, my friend.
No. And Chippy only with 600 done after 6 shots. That's also not too great there for Coalition Zoo. So we know there was some damage missing. But good stuff from Caren Tiger. They really looked quite comfortable in that matchup there, as they should have. That's kind of how things should have gone really against Dark Horse as well. So it's good to see them, you know, getting back on the board and being able to beat the teams that they should be able to beat.
Alex getting his prediction as most wrong as he possibly
As
could.
wrong as possible, yeah.
As wrong as possible. So that's what you guys should be taking away from this one tonight.
Well, actually, it would have been more wrong if he had said 5-0 for Coalition Zoo, I guess.
Oh, yeah, but that's just madness.
Well, so is a 5-4 for Coalition Zoo as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I know. I know you're right, but it's still a 5-0. That's just straight not happening.
No. Hellcry with a good night here for Caren Tiger. Akio V as well as Yupa doing pretty decently too. Yep, pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of high damage dealers on the side of Coalition Zoo here as well. Roby won in the grill, got some good shots, and Prokhorovka feels like an eternity ago. Joke and Lion also putting out work. Akio V, Yuba, and Madame making themselves count tonight.
Yeah, Pacmanius, not much. Beached. That's a pretty poor performance when you think that he was pretty much in tier 10s the whole night.
Obelisk's artillery not making the cut either.
Nope.
So,
but he wasn't in that many rounds.
Yeah, but he does a lot of damage when he's in them, and sometimes he can make the cut. So
yeah,
just noting. Not doing over X amount of damage.
Can only display 14 on the graphics, so...
Didn't make the cut.
Did make the cut.
How the tracks
I definitely think he did a pretty good job of that
Good.
artillery piece tonight, though. Like, he was definitely impactful for the rounds that he played for Caren Tiger there, and they won the rounds that he played. Obviously, they won all the rounds that they played, so can't complain about that one for Caren Tiger at all.
No, great stuff by Caren Tiger, taking out the very convincing 5-0 win, putting to bed any doubts fans and teams might be having of the success. Next up, we have Horseman taking on Meltdown. Should be a great series to finish off our night. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere.